On Wednesday, September 14th,
It's me first.
Oh, yeah, it is. Hello.
Good morning or good afternoon, CSSJ students. Today is October 4th, which means it's the 4th week of school. On Wednesday, September 4th, the whole CSSJ community had an opportunity to choose among a wide variety of different clubs. After the students' second day of school, they went down to the multi-purpose room where there was different stations placed and kids had to choose any clubs they wanted.
A group of enthusiastic students who are ready to choose how they're going to waste their time after school decided that after 2 years of taking classes in a bed, that they were going to actually, stand up and get ready to come to terms with being in the building again. And they were able to decide and use that opportunity to actually get more comfortable with the school. And all things considered, these clubs are a great opportunity for you to actually get comfortable with the environment. So I do recommend, if you feel like you're not doing much after school and you really want to, try out a club.
There are activities that are still open to join, so we encourage you to join clubs and sports while they're still available. For instance, cross country. If you like hurting your legs. Indoor track for girls and then outdoors track for the same thing. There's fencing, if you like to play with sticks. There's the table tennis. If you weren't good enough to play normal tennis, maybe you'll be better here. Soccer, because you don't like to use your hands. Baseball, because you only like to use your hands. Softball, same thing, but you hate the hard ball. Volleyball, varsity and junior varsity. Basketball, boys, for junior varsity basketball, and basketball for girls, which, again, same thing. And then there's flag football for girls. Kind of weird how there's none for boys, but other than that, yeah, there are more clubs that I don't know about. I'm sorry. Please, ask your nearest advisor for help on that. And then there's stunt co-ed, for, if breaking one bone was a little too little for you.
On Tuesday, September 28th, the class of 2022 took their class pictures. Senior took a couple of pictures, whether that was the silly or the serious one. Senior also took pictures with their family group. The bittersweet moment is the one that the upcoming classes will also get to experience.
This year's Met Gala held a lot of controversy. For starters, the Met Gala was happening during a pandemic. Everyone there was vaccinated, but the majority was not wearing a mask. The CDC recommends a mask for everyone, including vaccinated people. So the rising question was, why did the people attending the Met Gala have the privilege to not wear one? Secondly, AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who was a socialist politician, attended the Met Gala. Her dress was made by Eoria James, but the main thing that stood out about her dress was the wording in the back, tax the rich. Many people felt like her message was important and spread awareness, but some people felt like it was performative and not effective. And lastly, one of the biggest controversy was there was a huge protest happening outside of the Met Gala, specifically about BLM and defunding the police. People believe that AOC should have been there protesting and fighting as a socialist she is. Overall, the Met Gala is known to be an iconic event. However, as the world changes and people's interests changes as well, in the next few years, the idea of the Met Gala will change.
On the 24th of September, we were able to ask astronauts in space whatever we wanted, really, and they would answer us with an appropriate response. Now, some of you might remember watching this during your family groups, but if you were or weren't, here are the clips of basically what happened.
Hi, my name is Jason, and my question is, based on the knowledge NASA has gained from being on the International Space Station, how long do you think it will take for humans to begin living on another planet?
My hope is that by the end of the decade, we're not living on another planet, but we're living on another planetary object, the moon, with and beginning a permanent human presence there. So again, I said that's my hope. We have lots of technical challenges, but I really believe if we put a lot of effort into it, we can make it happen.
This question is from Chelsea, and she asks, what's the most fascinating thing about going to space?
Well, there's a long list, I'm sure. Flying around and floating around for sure is pretty cool. But I think most of us will say, I certainly would say, the most fascinating thing is actually looking at planet Earth out the windows that we have here. and getting to enjoy our planet from this perspective.
This question is from Fatine, and she asks, if you want to become an astronaut, do you have to be good at math?
I would say math is very much like reading. It's a life skill that helps you function better in our modern society. And because of that, it's really an essential thing to do. However, it's not something that you're born being good or bad at. It's a skill, and because it's a skill, we can put effort and practice into it, and we can get better at it. So if you want to be good at math as part of the path to becoming an astronaut, just put the work into it.
This question is from Brian, and he asks, what type of food or drinks are and aren't allowed on the space station?
Well, let me show you kind of the basic foods that we have. One is in a thermostabilized pouch. And these are familiar to the military folks. They eat things like MREs, and this is beef fajitas, I think. So we can heat these up and then enjoy them on a tortilla. The other major type of food we have up here are dehydrated foods. So we call them rehydratable. So you have to hook this up to a water machine to put water in it. That's chicken teriyaki, believe it or not. It looks very dry and crispy right now, but once you put water into it and let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes, it's actually very tasty. Our drinks come in bags like this, kind of a large Capri Sun bag, so to speak. But we do have a special straw on it because otherwise the liquid would float out like Mark's showing you now. If you have never seen how liquid behaves in microgravity, check this out. So it just forms a sphere. And it can get, it's about a golf ball size now, but if you did the whole bag here, it would get up to about a grapefruit size or even a basketball. So we don't want to do that and get things too messy. And here's how we drink it.
On Wednesday, September 22nd, the 12th graders had their first senior trip, which was team building at Mills Pond Park, where they did many activities with their family groups and friends, getting to know each other a little bit better for the last time, and also enjoying their first high school trip.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to another segment of And If You Didn't Know. Today, I'm here to talk about a few highlights from the 76th session of the UN General Assembly, which occurred from the 21st to 27th of September. This was a chance from leaders from around the world to share their own vision for a world struck by an enduring pandemic and the consequences of climate change. President Joe Biden has urged for global cooperation through what he called, quote, a decisive decade for our world. He also pledged that the U.S. will invest heavily in the battle against climate change. Another highlight was the performance of the Korean boy band called BTS. They delivered a speech about climate change, the digital world, vaccines, and the power of youth to change the world. They praised young people for their resilience during the pandemic and now urged them to take action in an ever-growing world. I'm Brian Torres, and thanks for joining, and if you didn't know.